Welcome to today's Strengths Conversation. I'm Jane Liebecker. I'm an Eddie Villa certified coach specializing in the Clifton Strengths, and I am coming to you from Seattle, Washington.
Hi, everyone. I am Manetta Fields. I too am an Eddie Villa certified coach. And we love to use the Gallup Strengths Assessment as part of our toolkit that we use for our business. And I'm joining you from Laurel, Maryland.
Our special guest today is Linda Karchner. Linda,
Hi,
where are you coming from today?
I am in Berlin, Pennsylvania, which is southwestern Pennsylvania.
And are you also?
Yeah,
Yes,
I
I thought
am
you were.
also an Eddie Villa certified coach. And I just love being in your space, you ladies. And I'm working on creating a course for pastors' wives to
Mm,
help them to tap into their strengths, to navigate the loneliness of kind of being in the fishbowl.
that's powerful.
Yeah, thank
So,
you.
as we get started with our conversation, can you share with us what your dominant domains are?
Yes, I am a relationship builder and a strategic thinker. So, what that means is that I love to do everything in a way that connects me with the right people and gives me the opportunity to think, create, and learn.
Awesome. So, how did you learn about strengths?
I learned about strengths. Well, I had known about strengths long before doTERRA. My husband actually had taken his assessment when they had someone coaching the church leadership team. My husband's a pastor. So he actually took his assessment probably 8 or 9 years before I did. And then through doTERRA in 2018-ish, I believe, there was kind of a big push to help people become aware of their Clifton strengths. And then just through that awareness, found out about Eddie Villa. And of course, he opened our eyes to really getting your full strengths report. I just had the top 5 and unlocked my full strengths report, and just the power that is in those top 10 and knowing your bottom strengths. So you know what de-energizes you and what to avoid.
For sure. So, what was the feeling behind learning about your strengths?
I felt empowered and reassured,
Mm,
and it gave me some clarity about some ways that I was in the past. It explained a lot. Why everybody wanted to cheat off of me in school because I have the answers, because I have learner and input and intellection high, and those are my strategic thinking strengths in my top 10. And also why I was always champion for the underdog. That's my includer. That's high. I didn't want people to feel left out. So, it kind of explained who I've been my whole life and just gave me a sense of, yeah, this is who God designed me to be. And I don't have to be these other things in order to succeed and be happy and live the life that God intended for me.
that's beautiful.
So, Linda, we're talking to you about communication
Yes.
today. Where is that in your top 10 strengths?
Well, that is number 10, actually.
Wow. Okay. So, for those who may not know what Gallup says communication is, I'm just going to read the brief
Okay.
description. People strong in the communication theme generally find it easy to put their thoughts into words. They are good conversationalists and presenters. Is that true for you?
Yes, that does ring true. I love to do all of those things, all of the above.
What are your number 1 and 5 strengths, Linda?
Number 1 is learner, and number 5 is input.
Nice. So tell us how you would use communication. Give us an example of how that shows up for you.
Well, I talk a lot. I have a lot of words. My husband will have to, if he asks me a question, he'll have to sit down to hear the answer. And a part of that is what I'm relying on as I'm building my course for pastors' wives, to be able to get my thoughts into words onto paper. And I also heard someone describe one time that their high communication strength is what made them a good editor. And I thought, I figured I would have maximizer high because I like to edit and use grammar properly and things like that. But then I realized, I don't have maximizer high, and communication is really why I do that. Because I feel like when you're using grammar properly, you are getting your point across and communicating your point in a way that you wouldn't be able to do otherwise. So, I've seen like a little meme that says, let's eat people and pets. And it's like, use commas or you're going to seem like you're a psycho. Use punctuation. Let's eat people, pets. So communication, it's important.
For sure.
Yeah. So how do you think your learner and input influence your communication strength?
Well, I had mentioned to you, Jane, that sometimes I love my communication and sometimes I don't. And because of my learner and input being so powerful, I have so much information in my head. And when I say all of that information without I don't really need filters as much as maybe just kind of a break sometimes. It gets to be too much information for other people.
Mm-hmm.
So it's valuable to know that my communication is strong, but I need to temper it sometimes and just kind of get a feel for if my audience is prepared to hear all of the nuggets that I have stored from my input and learner. They're not always.
I understand that. I understand that. Well, so what do you like about your communication strength?
I love being able to talk to people. I think that I'm thinking of like even in-person situations like at church or meeting new people, being able to draw them into conversation. And because kind of going back to my learner, I like to learn about people. So for me, communication really is a two-way street. I like to ask questions. I like to find out more about the other person. And, I like to share with them nuggets of my own life that maybe would be meaningful to them. So yeah, that's one of the many things I like about communication.
That's a good one. So Linda, what would you say to people who are sitting on the fence about taking the Gallup Strengths Assessment?
Get off the fence with a caveat, if I might say. Take it and find a good coach like these ladies to help you interpret, understand, and apply what you've learned about yourself. Because even though I'm high learner input intellection, and I read the little book that my code for the top 5 came in, I read it. After I got my results, I underlined, I highlighted, and I still didn't know really what it all meant. So take it and get a good coach to help you to really understand it. Otherwise, it's going to sit in a drawer or on a file in your computer, and you're going to say, well, that was a waste of $60.
We don't want them to waste their money.
No, I don't want you to waste your money. That would be ridiculous.
Yeah.
And that, my grandmother would turn over in her grave because she was said not. So we don't waste anything. Take advantage of, having coaches who
There's
are
lots of
available
coaches
to
out
you.
there. Lots of them. You'll find somebody that'll fit you.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Linda.
Yeah. It was fun. I always enjoy talking to you ladies.
Yeah, and likewise.
We
Thank
appreciate you, Linda.
Thank you. We'll talk more.
Yes. Take care.